What's up, everybody? This is Awesome here, and I'm here giving you guys my impressions and review of Star Wars Battlefront. Let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the graphics. Holy shit, these graphics are absolutely stunning. They've absolutely nailed, DICE has absolutely nailed the feeling of being in a Star Wars battle, of being in a Star Wars movie, or being like in one of the movie scenes. They've absolutely nailed that feeling here, and the graphics, in my opinion, are probably the best I've seen on any new gen game, probably so far. I think I would put Battlefront ahead of everything from Killzone Shadowfall, which was a launch title for the PS4 that had amazing graphics, and Battlefield 4, which also had amazing graphics, ran on the same engine. This also runs on the Frostbite 3 engine, but this game looks far superior. This game looks superior to Battlefield 4, and it looks superior to Rainbow Six Siege, in my opinion. It looks superior to what's another game that had great graphics? The Order 1886. This is the best looking next gen game probably ever. Just all the just look on the train, the lighting, the character models just are presented in vivid detail here, because they use the photogrammetry technique. It's like when DICE goes to like gets like actual models and stuff that were used in the Star Wars movies, and they like could take a picture of it and they scan it into the game, and the results are stunning. And they're, like I said, it's full of detail. This game is full of detail. This game is just, I just can't gush out about the graphics enough. Just take a look at this. Let's just take a look at this and just tell me that these graphics don't look appealing. Now, the gameplay. The gameplay is very fun. This gameplay is very fun. It's just like Battlefield, but also with like a Star Wars twist. There's not like in Battlefield, when you aim down sights with your guns, or blasters in this case, and you're good with your guns, you get better accuracy and you get a tightened spread on your bullets. There's no difference between hip fire and shot spread with your blasters in this case, because it's Star Wars. Like when you aim down sights, you're getting the same accuracy you're getting the same shot spread as you would be if you were hip firing. So there's really not a whole lot of incentive, or there's really not a whole lot of reason to aim unless you're like engaging a long range target. If you're going in close quarters, going in close quarters, then there's really no reason to aim down the sights, or just aim period. And now let's talk about the game modes. My favorite 3 game modes in Star Wars Battlefront are Walker Assault, Supremacy, which is what you're seeing here, and Drop Zone. Walker Assault is what we saw in the beta on Hoth. So basically, what that is the Imperial team the Empire, the Imperials are coming in with AT-ATs and all that stuff, and basically trying to get those AT-ATs to the Rebel base, and the Rebels have to activate uplinks to basically expose the Walkers to try and take them out before they get to their base. Now the AT-ATs, the Walkers, have a ton of health, so it's going to take a lot of time for them to actually go down. Walker Assault games can last from a variety, they can go on for quite a while, actually. They can go on for they're usually about 10 to 15 minute game modes, from what I've noticed, but they're really fun. Um, and yeah, that's all I got to say about Walker Assault. Supremacy is basically it's kind of like the war game mode from the older Call of Duty games, or it's also kind of like, it kind of compares to Chain Link from Battlefield 4, where each team, where there's like a bunch of capture points on the map, and you have to and you have to conquer them. You have to capture them um, in in a certain order, and it's very fun. It's extremely fun. It kind of plays, kind of reminds me of Conquest from the Battlefield games, except you're not like, except except it's more linear, I guess, than Conquest is. Conquest is very open. Even Supremacy is pretty open, but is pretty open, but it is a little bit more linear in terms of capture points, more than Conquest from the Battlefield games. My other favorite mode is Drop Zone, which it's kind of like Hardpoint from Call of Duty. It's like there's like these escape pods that will drop from time to time, and both teams have to capture them, have to go in there, capture them, and defend them for about, I think, about a minute or so, and then another one will drop, and then you have to do the same thing for that one. It's a really fun game mode. In my opinion, it's the best infantry only game mode. The other infantry game modes are honestly kind of boring. I know Blast. I think I played Blast once, and I'm probably never going to play it again, because it's basically team deathmatch, and I mean it's fun for like 5 minutes, and then you're just like, and then you just fall asleep and you want to go play something else. Fighter Squadron. I'm not going to touch on Fighter Squadron. I love Fighter Squadron, but that actually got its own video a couple days ago, so I'm not really going to talk about that. So, if you want to know about Fighter Squadron, I made a separate video about that. It's on my channel. You can just go check that out. So if you want to learn more about Fighter Squadron, then go watch that video. Something else I want to touch on about the gameplay. There are first and third person camera views that kind of carries over from the original Battlefronts, which more about those will be coming out later in this. I'll be talking about later in this video, but like when I get to my final verdict, but the third person mode is absolutely the way to go. Something about third person. The thing about third person is that you can actually see like behind cover without exposing yourself. When you go into first person, you have to expose yourself just to see like what's behind the wall or behind cover. But if you're in third person, you can see it without needing to. You can see what's coming without having to expose yourself, which that is a huge advantage, and in my opinion that kind of takes away from the fun of the first person mode. I kind of like the idea level cap had, which is to have add like a first person only game mode, because that would be pretty fun. I would personally play that because I do like it is fun for the first person mode, but I kind of do wish that there was a first person only game mode, because most people right now are running around, I'm sure are running around in third person mode because of that big advantage, because of that aforementioned advantage. So that's just something I wanted to touch on. The maps. The maps are really fun. There's only 4 planets as of right now. There's only 4 planets. There's Hoth, Sullust, Tatooine, and Endor, which they're all fun. They're all from a specific Star Wars movie scene except for Solace. Solace is its own thing. I think Dice kind of wanted to have like its own expanded universe type thing of Star Wars, so they added Solace in there. Solace isn't in any of these Star Wars movies, so so um, um, so there you go. But there you go. But Hoth Hoth is obviously The Empire Strikes Back. I believe Tatooine is in Episode 4. It's in A New Hope, or the original Star Wars is what a lot of people call it. And then obviously Endor is from Return of the Jedi. Oh yeah, Tatooine was also in Return of the Jedi as well. So, but there's another one coming on December 1st if you pre-order the game, December 8th for everybody else, which is called Jakku, the Battle of Jakku, which is going to be in the new Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, which I am really, really excited about that movie. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully it won't be anything like the prequels, but hopefully it won't be anything like the prequels, which it won't be because George Lucas isn't involved with it. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. I'm getting off topic. So the Battle of Jakku, that's coming. It's gonna be on Jakku. From the trailers, from the one trailer they released, it kind of looks like Tatooine, but without all the rocky terrain. So, but anyways, they've just released one teaser for it. So if you pre-ordered the game, you will get it on December 1st. If you're like me and you didn't pre-order the game and got it after launch, then we are going to have to wait until December 8th. So you won't be seeing any Battle of Jakku stuff from me until December 8th. But trust me, once Battle of Jakku does release for us, I will be making videos about that. So stay tuned for that. Now let's get into some of the customization options. So for your character models, for the most part, you will be playing, when you start out the game, you'll be playing as your basic rebel soldier and your basic stormtrooper. But later on, you'll be able to unlock different options for your character. You'll be able to unlock like different human characters to play as. You can human like heads basically for your soldiers. I guess you can also, once you get up to like level 50 and like level 40 and 50, you get like different full outfits. Like I know in the Empire, you can, once you get up to like level 50, you can play as a shadow trooper, which is, if you play the survival mode, basically what a shadow trooper is. It's basically a stormtrooper that can turn invisible. And then I think once you get up to level 40, you can actually, on the Imperial side, you can actually play as a Imperial marksman, like an Imperial scout trooper. So that's pretty cool. Though like I said, you won't unlock those until later on, and it does, for me anyways, it does take a little bit of time to rank up, but at the same time, it's so satisfying to rank up in Battlefront. The ranking system is kind of comparable to Battlefield in terms of like how long it can take, but it definitely is really satisfying to go from one level to the next, as it should be in my opinion, because that's kind of part of the fun of modern multiplayer first-person shooters. So that's that. The hero characters, I haven't really been able to play as the hero characters outside of missions, which missions I'll get to in a second. But from what I have experienced, the heroes are really powerful, as they should be, and they're really fun. That's really all I can say about the hero characters. You can play as a variety of hero characters on the Imperial side. You can play as Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, and Boba Fett. I haven't really played as Boba Fett much, but I have played as Vader and Palpatine. Both those are really fun. I know with Darth Vader you can like force choke people, and then with and obviously you have a lightsaber. And then as the Emperor, you can use Force lightning. You can shoot lightning at your enemies. which is also really fun. And then it's Boba Fett. I haven't really got to play as Boba Fett. I know Boba Fett has like a jetpack and I heard he's got a pretty good blaster too, but I don't know, I haven't really played as much as Boba Fett. And on the Rebels, you get Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo. Which I've got to play as Luke, but I haven't been able to play as Leia or Solo. And something I want to mention about those hero characters is that their voice actors are absolutely horrible. They don't sound anything like they do in the movies, but I don't know. This seems to be common with Star Wars video games. You know, the voice actors, they don't have the original actors from who played the characters in the movies play them in the video games. They don't have that. They have other actors that do it, and I want to know who they hire because they don't have any acting. They don't really act well. It kind of takes me out of the experience, but that's a pretty small thing. But it definitely is really fun to play as one of those heroes. So, in my opinion, that's really all that matters. But still, bad voice acting does still kind of take me out of the experience. But again, all that really matters to me is that the heroes are fun to play as, which so far they are. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Missions are pretty fun for a while, and then they do kind of get boring. I know the battle mode, that's fun for like a few minutes, and then it does kind of get boring. It's pretty good. The missions are really only good to get you accustomed to the game. The only really mission mode that I can see as can be fun is the survival mode, especially on the harder difficulties, like on hard or master. They're pretty fun on those difficulties. However, if you play survival on normal, it's so ridiculously easy. It's really, really easy. So don't really play it on normal because it's so easy that it kind of takes some of the fun away. But I know in the beta it was really easy. In the Battlefront beta it was really easy, but here in the full game it's really super easy too. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about missions. Now let's get into the final verdict, because I've really talked about everything I needed to talk about. This game is awesome. That's all I'm going to say. This game is just in my opinion, it lived up to my expectation. It lived up to just about all of my expectations. It definitely kind of tries to set itself apart from the original Battlefronts, but people like me who have played those original Battlefronts, me personally, I grew up with the original Battlefronts on the original Xbox, will definitely find some familiar references and familiar mechanics that carry over from the originals, like the camera views, for example. And you know, it's definitely a great game in its own right. I definitely recommend picking it up if you're a Star Wars fan, or if you're a fan of sci-fi, or if you're just a fan of games in general. Though I don't think it is as good as the originals. I didn't expect, nor did I expect it to be as good as the originals, honestly. But it definitely is a great game in its own right. And in my opinion, if you're a fan of multiplayer games, and you can get past the seeming lack of content, and the seeming lack of content, which this game does have a lot of content. I'm just gonna say that right now, this game does have quite a bit of content. But if you can get past that, this game is absolutely fun. It's really fun to play. It's an absolute blast to play, especially for people like me who did play those original Battlefronts. But at the same time, DICE does try to, differentiate it from the originals and kind of have its own spin on it. It absolutely is a great game, and like I said, if you're a Star Wars fan, a fan of sci-fi, or even just a fan of multiplayer games in general, I absolutely recommend picking this game up. The only thing I really have to complain about in terms of that is the season pass, in my opinion, is way overpriced. At $50, it's just I think all you're gonna get getting is new heroes and like and new maps and stuff. But in my opinion, it's way overpriced because I heard you're only gonna go like one planet, I think, which only really it only really adds up to like a couple maps. But anyways, I digress. But anyways, like I said, absolutely recommend picking this game up. If I had to rate this game like out of 10, I say it would get an 8 out of 10. It would get an 8 out of 10. Great game. Absolutely recommend picking it up. And that's the end of this review. I don't really do too many game reviews like this, but game review commentaries like this, but I decided to do one here for Battlefront. And like I said, absolutely recommend picking this game up. You absolutely can't go wrong with this game. And yeah, that's it. This game still doesn't, like I said, this game still doesn't really compare to the originals. But like I said, it's still a fantastic game in its own right. Absolutely recommend picking this game up. This has been awesome, and I will see you guys in the next video.